NPP today in charge of the minority. So no problem. Honorable members, I've examined and approved the votes and proceedings of Thursday, 19th October 2023. Honorable colleagues, we have two announcements. The first one is coming from Honorable Barrister J.C. Okejoy, member representing Oshodi Isholo, through Federal Constituency of Lagos State. And the message is on transition to glory of Elder Kalu Ike Kalu, COAN. The message reads as follows: with mixed feelings, wherein to the ultimate surrender to the will of Almighty God, do I bring to your notice of the transition to glory of Elder Kalu Ike Kalu, Commander of the Order of Niger, who transited to heavenly glory on the 19th day of October 2023 at the age of 88 years. KUK, fondly called by friends and well-wishers, is my mentor, teacher, and father. Elder Kalu Uke Kalu, former chairman of Union Bank PLC, during his lifetime, blazed the trail in all human endeavors. He was a scholar par excellence, a banker to bankers, and a humanitarian in all forms. Elder Kalu's contribution to human capital development, especially in the banking industry in Nigeria, remains unparalleled. That there is no top banker in Nigeria of the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s who has not crossed his path in the course of his or her career. Elder Kalu Uke will be remembered by all and sundry as an icon, a legend, and a philanthropist who came, who saw, and contributed positively and bequeathed joys to mankind. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, may I crave the indulgence of the House to rise and observe a minute silence in honor of this colossal and detribalized Nigeria. Signed, Honorable Barrister Okejoy Onua Kolosi. Second announcement is coming from Honorable Umar Shehu Ajilo, and the announcement reads as follows: with a heavy heart, I stand to announce the demise of late Ambassador Mansour Nuba Mali, the Magajin Gari of Zazzau Emirates in Zaria Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, who passed away on Friday, the 20th day of October 2023. Until his demise, he was the acting ambassador to the Kingdom of Morocco. He was also the younger brother to His Royal Highness Ambassador Ahmed Nuba Mali, the Emir of Zazzau, and a cousin brother to the Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin. He was an illustrious son of the Zazzau Emirate who had facilitated a cordial relationship between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Kingdom of Morocco. On behalf of the good people of Makarfi-Kudan Federal Constituency and all members of Kaduna State Caucus, I condole with the Zazzau Emirate, the Honorable Speaker, and the entire nation. He has been buried according to Islamic rite. May his soul rest in peace. Signed, Honorable Umar Shehu Ajilo, member representing Makarfi-Kudan Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. So, honorable colleagues, shall we rise for a minute silence in honor of these two deceased people? May their soul rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, any member with petition? Any petition? Yes, Honorable, please go ahead.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues. My name is Honorable Victor Afamogene. I represent Obaru Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, I'm from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, this afternoon I have two petitions. The first one is from a legal practitioner, Chief K.E. Okoro. Is a petition.
Honorable Kaoje, you didn't send your letter of defection from APC to PDP or NMPP or ABGA. But if we see you here, it will imply that there was no way persuading you to move to the other side.
We have accepted you.
So please, unless you are changing, we want you to quickly finish what you are doing and move to the other side.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues. The petition is from Chief K.E. Okoro. It's a petition against the sales and conversion of containers purchased by his clients by the Nigerian Customs Service. His prayer is that this House should make the Nigerian Customs Service to pay his clients the purchase price of the containers and additional 10% as transportation costs for returning the goods to Nigerian Customs Service at different locations since 2012 till date. Mr. Speaker, the second petition is from Daniel Ujong and Associates on behalf of Mfansong community in Akankpa local government area of Cross River State. It's a petition against the menace of unlawful operations by Lafarge Africa PLC, whom they are accused of not doing environmental impact assessment before beginning operations, which is negatively impacting on their community and its residents. The prayer is that the management of Lafarge be invited by this Honorable House to answer crucial issues raised in the petition. Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, it is my application to lay these petitions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Please go ahead and lay your petition. Any more petitions? Yes, Right Honorable, go ahead.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. I remain Fatoba Olushola. I represent the good people of Ado Ekiti, representing Felodu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I have this petition from academic and non-academic staff yet to be payroll from University of Calabar. And their prayer is that this honorable house takes a passionate look at our case, considering both parties employed as Nigerian employed over 3 years ago and working after documentation and assumption of duty without salary or allowance. May I seek for your permission, sir, to lay this petition? Thank you, sir.
Please go ahead. Honorable, go ahead, Drew.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleague. Mr. Speaker, my name is Basi Akbar. I speak for the people of Calabar Municipality, Odubai Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm a proud Cross Riverian. Mr. Speaker, I have 4 petitions that I want to lay before you. With the leave, I ask that I just bring up the petition titled and the prayers as follows. 1, Mr. Speaker, is a petition against Access Bank, PLC, signed by Bolaji Junis for on behalf of Bola Full Solution Ventures. And the next petition is a petition in respect of termination of appointment from Federal Capital Territory Administration, signed by Makafi Abubakar Alahaji. The third petition, Mr. Speaker, is a petition to the National Assembly against the management of Kaduna Polytechnic, and is signed by Engineer Abubakar J. Abdulhai. And the last is a petition on the injustice and manipulation of the cancellation non-payment of pension gratuity since 2004. And Mr. Speaker, this is signed by retired ASP Raphael Etumuda. With your leave, Mr. Speaker, I seek to lay this before you. Thank you.
Please go ahead and lay your petition. Any more petitions? Any more? All petitions are referred to the Committee on Public Petitions. Matters of urgent public importance. Honorable Blessing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Blessing Onyeche Onu, and I rise under Order 8, Rule 4, to move a motion of urgent public importance on the need to investigate the recent armed robbery attack and killings of innocent Nigerians in my community. I pray that the House suspend its relevant rule to enable me move this motion. I so move.
Any seconder to the first leg? Honorable Francis.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis Ejirogane Waiva is my name, and I represent the entire people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu. I am from Delta State. I rise to second the motion moved by my colleague, Honorable Blessing, on that despicable act, killings that happened in our constituency. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Any seconder to the second leg? My right honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, Tijani Kayode Ismail is my name. I represent the good people of Ifelodun of our Federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kwara State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Blessing, go ahead.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name remains Blessing Onyeche Onu, and I represent the good people of Otukpo Oyemini Federal Constituency. I am from Benue State. The House notes that the primary purpose of government is the security and welfare of its citizens. Further note that on Friday, the 20th of October 2023, at about 3 p.m., Otukpo, a relatively peaceful town in Benue State, was invaded by heavily armed gunmen, numbering over 20. These gunmen held the community under siege for over 2 hours. They wreaked havoc using rocket launcher, dynamite, AK-47 rifles, and other sophisticated weapons. Aware that these yet-to-be-identified gunmen started their killing spree by attacking the vigilante group, which is the first line in the homeland security. They thereafter proceeded to the Otukpo police station, killing the divisional police officer and 3 other female police officers. While the attack on the police station was ongoing, other members of the gang were busy attacking 4 commercial banks simultaneously, killing and cutting away huge sums of money. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, also aware that the banks attacked were Stanbic, Zenith, UBA, and First Bank. Several persons were killed in the bank premises, and many others sustained gunshot injuries. Concerned that residents are currently feeling traumatized by last Friday's incident and are greatly feeling unsafe, worried that the security architecture of Otukpo community, particularly the police and vigilante, are badly demoralized. More worrisome, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, is that the commercial and business activities are currently halted in Otukpo and Benue South as a whole. Banks and other commercial institutions have completely shut down operations. Resolved that the House should unanimously condemn in strong terms the gruesome and brutal killing of security personnel, bank officials, and other law-abiding members of Otukpo community. 2, the Nigeria Police, Department of State Services, and other security agencies, as a matter of urgency, make efforts to arrest and persecute the perpetrators of this heinous act. 3, government should, as a matter of urgency, increase the security architecture within the town and its environs to prevent reoccurrence. That the House should set up a committee to investigate the immediate and remote causes of the incident. And finally, honorable colleagues, the House should observe a minute silence in honor of the divisional police officer, other security personnel, and civilians in my community who lost their lives during this attack. My heart bleeds, Mr. Speaker. I so submit.
Parliamentarian.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Mukhtar Tolani Shagaya. I represent the good people of Ilorin West, Asa Federal Constituency of Kwara State. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by my senior colleague. I so second.
I think the motion is a straightforward one, unless if we need to take 1 or 2 comments and then we put it to question. Let me recognize Honorable Jaha. After him, Honorable Halims will talk, and then we'll take 1 more from this side. The oracle is there, so you speak last.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Ahmed Jaha Babao is my name. I represent Chibok, Dambua, and Goza Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, let me start by sympathizing the victims of this attack in Otukpo local government area of Benue State. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I listened with keen attention when the mover of the motion was to some extent emotional in the process of her presentation. And it's not because of anything, it's because of the way and manner innocent lives, including lives of agents of coercion, were wasted as a result of that attack. But I differ to some extent that this attack was perpetrated by armed robbers. This is a terrorist attack. Whether we like it or not, I have not seen a situation whereby an armed robber can do this kind of attack. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, what happened in Otupo today can happen in any of the 774 local governments in Nigeria because of the situation we found ourselves. So I want honorable members to lay their words on this important urgent matter of urgent public importance moved by our honorable colleagues, Honorable Blessing Onu. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I have been monitoring with keen interest from the inception of this parliament, from when you were elected by 353 members of this house to become a speaker. Almost on a weekly basis, we have been taking security-related motions. Sir, in the past, we even convened a national summit on security matters, inviting stakeholders from all facets of life, including those abroad, to come and attend. Still, the security situation is not improving positively. In other words, if there is a relief in the northeast, you realize that the thing is moving to the north central or northwest. Only God knows tomorrow where it can be. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the security situation in the country, the parliament must have a second thought or deliberation as far as the security situation is concerned. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I have been saying in the past, and I will keep on saying, that security activity in the country has become a cash cow business. A cash cow business is the sense that some people are living fat, feeding fat, as far as the security is concerned. There is a need for these members of the parliament, particularly security-related committee, to look into the way and manner expenditures are made in security-related agencies and ministries. There is a need for us to do our oversight function properly so that we understand that taxpayers' money is being used for the purpose intended. Or if care is not taken, the whole country will be just like Northeast, where we were reduced to rebels, we were reduced to beggars. Somebody that can control 20 to 30 million naira as a petty businessman now had to queue up in an IDP camp to collect 1 bag of rice. It's a pathetic situation, and it's going to happen to everywhere in the country if we have not taken a drastic measure to protect our constituents. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I thank honorable members for the rapt attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Jaham. Honorable Halims.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Your Excellency, and my right honorable colleagues. I actually want to sympathize and my condolences to the great people of Otupo local government. You see, insecurity, as we are all aware, has taken a very dangerous dimension, especially in this, our zone, Ankpa, Otupo, Makodi, Ubolafo, around that cycle. This incident that happened on Friday has happened repeatedly in Ankpa local government last 2 years, and sometimes again early this year. And the loss of policemen, especially the first attack before, just to subdue the environment, is to attack the police station, and DPOs were attacked, and many of them lost their life in the process before they get into the banks proper to attack customers, and in the event cut away funds from the bank. You see, my appeal is principally to the security of our various local governments, because there is no way you can deploy army to the various local governments. Our security, the local vigilante, our security, the Nigerian police force should be empowered, and more so intelligent network as far as communication is concerned, so that as the first attack happened, they can easily communicate to reinforce. Because it has happened this year in my very local government, Ankpa local government. It has happened last year in Omala local government, and most of those banks up to today cannot come back to function because of the heavy attacks. Just as Jaha said, more or less like an attack from an enemy, not just armed robbery. So I employ this house to support whatever prayers that the mover of this motion urgently to help our security situation and to bring back commerce, more especially to bring back commerce to the affected area. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Deputy Leader. Deputy Oracle, are you ready? Please go ahead.
Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning with a heavy heart to make my submission to the motion moved by my sister, Right Honorable Blessing Onu. Mr. Speaker, what happened in Otukpo on Friday can only be imagined in a movie. Since I was born, I've not seen a situation like that. The blood flow in these communities, the number of persons killed by a single attack in one day, and the manner in which these unknown gunmen left this community called Otukpo. If you watch the video, Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues, you will agree with me that if we fail to say that the security apparatus of this country has not failed, then we are not doing justice to what has happened. Mr. Speaker, like my honorable colleagues have earlier mentioned, we must agree that our security situation in the country has not improved since the time you were elected as the Right Honorable Speaker of this House. We also agree that when the President came on board, he made efforts to rejig the leadership of the security agencies. But as we speak, Mr. Speaker, sir, the situation seems to have moved from frying pan into the fire. It is on this note that I want to call on this House, Mr. Speaker, sir, that if we don't want to come back next week to debate on similar issues of robbery, terrorist attack in other parts of the country, this Parliament should send a message to Mr. President and the security agencies that they are good at the moment is not good enough. It is either they sit up or they leave the office for those who are capable to carry out this assignment to do it for us in this country. I so submit, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. I know a lot of members would want to contribute, but because we are going to adjourn very early, because of some other important matters. I will please beg your indulgence. Let us stop here. We'll find time, since it is security related, to discuss further on this topical issue. So without any waste of time, may we rise to honor the deceased, since it's part of the prayers of this particular motion. May the soul of the departed rest in peace. We put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on National Security, Police, and Army. Honorable Sada.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Sada Soli, representing Jibia Kaita Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am coming on Order 8, Rule 4, and Rule 7.2 of the standing orders of this House. Mr. Speaker, I want to come on matters of urgent public importance, on the need to invite the Governor of the Central Bank on the decision of lifting Forex restriction on 43 items. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable colleagues, any seconder to the first leg? Let me see somebody who is more banking among those raising their hands. Honorable Lise, can you second so that we know we are carrying you on board?
Thank you, Right Honorable the Speaker, honorable colleagues. Eze, Nwachukwu Eze is my name, representing the good people of Ponyohuku Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg of the prayer, who is seconding? The man that checks all our books nationally.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Bamidele Salam. I represent Ede North, Ede South, Egbedo Rejigbo Federal Constituency of Osun State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that this matter is urgent enough to be taken. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Sada, please lead the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Need to invite the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria on the decision of lifting Forex restrictions on 43 items. Note that the CBN imposed restrictions in June 2015 to conserve the foreign exchange reserves and promote local production of certain goods, including about 11 food items. Also notes that on October 12, 2023, the Central Bank of Nigeria announced, among other issues, to lift on foreign exchange restriction hitherto placed on 43 items. Further notes that some of the items have tariffs to protect local industries as they are part of the imports prohibition list. Concerned that the decision of the CBN will greatly affect local production of items such as rice, cement, and palm oil, among others, as it will force local manufacturers to hold the short end of the stick, invariably leading to factory closure and ultimately eroding our capacity to build the country's local economy. Aware that almost all the 43 items are from two critical sectors, which have been identified by all policy documents, needs, seats to Vision 2022 as being areas that are critical to economic diversification. Worried that some of the listed items enjoy 60 to 70% subsidy from their countries of origin, thus putting Nigeria's local products at a competitive disadvantage and without any protection, and will lead to job losses and social exclusion. Also worried that the benefit of the cheaper imported inputs, as stated by the CBN, will give undue advantage to middlemen to drive the economy, which is inimical to our economic growth and not suitable to the current unified forex exchange market in the country. Further worried that Nigeria would not be competitive in the African continental free trade areas if our markets are flooded with imported finished goods. Alarmed that the decision followed the rising food inflation in the country, which has significantly impacted the economy and the purchasing power of poor Nigerians. Cognizant that, in reality, the lifting of forex restriction on the importation of 43 items may not have meaningful impact on the rising food inflation as a result of soaring exchange rate currently going on in this country. The House resolves urge the Central Bank of Nigeria to engage with other stakeholders within the fiscal ecosystem on the recent decision to lift forex restriction on 43 items. Also urge the CBN to develop a system that will engender professional conduct by all key players in the Nigerian foreign exchange market to guarantee market forces determine exchange rate on a willing buyer, willing seller principle. Further urge the CBN to desist from market suppression tendencies with regards to I and E windows. Finally, invite the CBN governor, pursuant to Section 84AB and Section 5B of the CBN Act, to brief or to engage the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Hussaini.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Hassan Sheikh Hussein, representing the good people of Nasarawa Federal Constituency, Kano State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague. I so second.
Thank you. I think it's a straightforward motion and very amendment to the prayers. Okay, Honorable, go ahead.
The Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Jesse Okejo Onwakalus. I represent Nigeria, especially the good people of Oshodi Solo Federal Constituency, the heartbeat of Lagos. Mr. Speaker, an additional prayer to already 4 existing prayer. The fifth one I want to add here, an addendum, to ask the House resolved to ask the Governor of Central Bank to suspend the execution of the policy dated 12th day of October 2023 until he visits the House.
Please, can you repeat so that members will hear you clearly what your prayer is?
Mr. Speaker, my additional prayer is to ask the Governor of the Central Bank to suspend the execution on the lifting of the 43 items on the policy document dated 12th day of October 2023 until the conclusion of this matter.
Honorable colleagues, you heard the prayer. So we put the question.
It needs to be debated, sir. Yes. Mr. Speaker, the position is this.
No, you don't need to explain. So, any seconder to this motion? Chairman Climate?
Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Chris Nkwanta, and I represent the good people of Okwa East and West Federal Constituency in Abia State, the only constituency that produces crude oil in Abia State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to second the motion or the amendment ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Before I put the question, I'm sure everyone is fully clear about what this additional prayer is talking about. To stop any implementation of this directive from the federal government.
No.
So now that you have understood, I'll put the question.
Who's the question, sir? We can't start.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The nays have it.
Amendment.
Leader, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, Kingsley Chinda, I represent Obiabo Federal Constituency.
Order, please. Order.
From River State.
Honorable members, order, please.
Please, can we keep silent, please? Honorable Jimmy Benson, I have appointed you to be the chief whip on that row because I could see a lot of people talking. So you are the monitor there. Please go ahead, leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to amend the prayers by asking that we delete all the prayers save the last prayer, which we read as follows. To alter the last prayer to read, to mandate the Finance and Custom Committees of the House to investigate, to invite the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, pursuant to Section 84AB and Section 5B of the CBN Act, and other stakeholders to investigate the rationale behind lifting forex restrictions on 43 items and report back to the House within 2 weeks for further legislative action.
Point of order.
Leader, you wouldn't want to consider Committee on Regulatory Banking?
Very well,
as part of the committees you
I just wanted to say
so
all
I just want to
relevant
give you
committee
an opportunity to rephrase your prayer.
I take the hint, Mr. Speaker, so I include Committee on Banking, on Regulatory Banking.
Further amendment.
A prayer from the leader. Any seconder? Any seconder? I have not seen my sister for quite a long time. And I'm sure a lot of people here are eager to hear her voice. My leader, the one with the longest name in this National Assembly. If you permit me, I will recognize her to second this motion. Please. I don't need to even point her, she knows herself.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My highly respected colleagues, my name is Rep. Otumba Yeyoba Adewumi Oriyomi Ononuga. I represent the fabulously united people of Ikene, Shagamu, Remo North, I'm from Ogun State, and I second the motion ably moved by the minority leader. I so second.
Honorable colleagues, I'm sure you have understood the position of the minority leader. He's saying that we should just consider this prayer to replace all other prayers requested, to invite, isn't it? To invite the Committee on Regulatory Banking, Finance and Customs to discuss this issue with the governor of the central bank and report within the stipulated time. Those who are in support of this prayer should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. So we put the question, those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. So this motion is referred to the Committee on Regulatory Banking, Finance and Custom. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of bills. Honorable members, the first business of the day is presentation of bills. The first business of the day is presentation of 30 bills. I now invite the clerk of the House to read the short titles.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Cyber Crimes Prohibition Prevention ETC Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Ministry of Finance Incorporated Act Repeal and Enactment Bill 2023, first reading. Association of National Accountants of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Chartered Institute of Finance and Intelligence Managers Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Institute of Chartered Trustees of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. National Institute of Flood and Erosion Control Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. National Commission for Nomadic Education Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal College of Land Resources Technology, Raba, Sokoto State Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Act Alteration Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Road Safety Commission Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Character Commission Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal University of Ecology and Wildlife Conservation Studies, Yankari, Bauchi State Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, AC Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. National Residency Training Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Obafemi Owode Vocational Skills and Entrepreneurs University, Owode Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. National Science, Technology, Innovation and Research Council Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Agricultural Research Council Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. National Football Academy in Batoli, Imo State Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Debt Management Bureau Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Central Bank of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. National Space Research and Development Agency Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Armed Forces Comfort Fund Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. National Vocational Training Centers Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. National Institute of Rubber Research and Technology Establishment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal University of Health Sciences Azari Act Amendment Bill 2023, first reading. Federal College of Dental Technology and Therapy, Kano Municipal, Kano State Establishment Bill 2023, first reading.
Thank you, Clerk. The third business of the day is presentation of report of the ad hoc committees on the review of standing orders of the House of Representatives, standing in the name of Honorable Igariwe Eno. Honorable members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Thursday, 15 June 2023. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Igariwe is hereby invited to present the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, my name is Right Honorable Igariwe Iduma Enwo. I represent Afikpo and Eda Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning under Order 18, Rule 3, Sub-Rule 4C of our standing orders to move that the House do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on the review of our standing orders, the orders of the House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Jimmy Benson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm going to read my long name as well, sir. I am Babajimi Adegoke Shobowale Benson, representing the good people of the Ikorodu Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my good friend Igariwe. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Igariwe, please proceed to lay your report. The fourth business of the day is presentation of report of the ad hoc committee on international boundary disputes with Cameroon, between Nigeria and Cameroon, on the need to locate Pillar 113A in the demarcation and or ceding of Danare and Biajua communities of Boki local government areas of Cross River State and Sina Kamali area of Michika local government area of Adamawa State, standing in the name of Honorable Ben Lam. Honorable members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 5th July 2023. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable La is hereby invited to present her report. I think I will recognize Honorable Abente to lead in the presentation of the report on our behalf.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, my very distinguished colleagues. I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on international boundary disputes with Cameroon, between Nigeria and Cameroon, on the need to locate Pillar 113A in the demarcation and or ceding of Danere and Biajua communities of Boki local government area of Cross River State and Sina Kamale area of Michika local government area of Adamawa State, referred to the committee on the 5th of July 2023. And
2010 and 2022 to unravel the extent of illegal auctioning of public property, non-remittance of revenue realized into the Consolidated Revenue Fund. The second is that the House do receive the report of the ad hoc committee with critical stakeholders and the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors to resolve the ongoing strike embarked upon by resident doctors. And the third committee is that the House do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on legislative agenda of the House of Representatives. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader. Who is powerful enough to second 3 motions put together? 3. Ha! You must be a very strong man, oh. Unless you can declare all our assets free without any encumbrance. So I'll call on the Chairman of Public Assets, Honorable Kuye, to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, my name is Ademori Alukuye. I represent Shomolu Federal Constituency, and I'm from Lagos State. And by your grace, I'm your benevolence, the chairman of Committee on Public Assets. I rise to second the motions presentation of report number 1, 2, 3, ably moved by the Leader of the House. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, please can you lead in the reading of the third? Okay, you did it late. Go ahead. The first order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Medical Research Council and for related matters standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Thursday, 19th October 2023. I will therefore call on the Leader of the House to move that the bill be now read the third time. But let me read out the rest. You can take them together.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Professor Julius E. Honvere.
I thought
No, the first and the second.
Order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Polytechnics Act Cap 17, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and establish Federal Polytechnic Rano, Kano State, and for related matters. Standing in the name of the House Leader, honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Thursday, 19th October 2023. I therefore call on the Leader of the House to move that the bill be now read the third time. So I'll invite the Leader to take the two bills together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I remain Professor Julius E. Honvere, ONDSSRS. I rise to move that two bills be taken together. One, a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Medical Research Council and for related matters 2023, HB 470. Two, a bill for an act to amend the Federal Polytechnics Act, Cap 17, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and establish Federal Polytechnic Rano, Kano State, and for related matters, HB 92. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader. Any seconder? The Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that bills numbers HB 470 and HB 92 be read a third time. I so second.
Those in support of these motions should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Please, Clerk, can you go ahead and read the long title of the bills?
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish the Nigeria Medical Research Council and for related matters, third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Polytechnics Act Cap 17 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and establish Federal Polytechnic Rano, Kano State and for related matters, third reading.
Bills read for the third time and passed. Honorable colleagues, the third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to make provisions for the retirement age for staff of National Assembly service and related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Aliyu Sani Madaki. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 5th October 2023. I now invite Honorable Madaki to move that the bill be now read for a second time. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, my name is Aliyu Sani Madaki, and I represent the people of the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to move that a bill for an act to make provision for the retirement age for staff of National Assembly service and for other related matters, HB 529, be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Buma, you don't want us to hear your voice. It's not every day I see you. Can you please help us? For record.
Honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, a warm afternoon. I stand to second the motion. I stand to second the bill that it should be read for a second time. I so second. Third time.
Honorable Ali, you have just 2 minutes. It's a straightforward bill, so just 2 minutes, please.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I stand to solicit for your support to allow the second reading of this bill. The bill seeks to make provision for a harmonized retirement age for staff of the National Assembly service, exempting the National Assembly service from the application of the general rule on the retirement age. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, drawing its power from Section 51 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, the National Assembly enacted the National Assembly Service Act 2014 to regulate the management and administrative structure of the National Assembly for improved service delivery. The bill provides for the retirement age of staff of the National Assembly to retire at the age of 65 or 40 years of service, whichever is earlier. You should agree with me that the National Assembly is a specialized service which is intended to strengthen the legislative arm of government. Of the three arms of government, the National Assembly is the least developed, and this can be attributed to the dearth of qualified staff who were caught up by the service rule or retirement age. Considering the importance of the legislative service as specialized service, the passage of the bill into law will strengthen the legislature as an arm of government, as similar legislation are provided for all the arms of government in Nigeria. I therefore solicit for the support of all members to this very important bill, which will help all our staff who are here working with us and make us become more efficient and effective in the way and manner we do our job. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Before we put the question, let me recognize 2 or 3 people. Just 1 minute, please. Summarize. I will start with Honorable Ali JC.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my very respected honorable colleagues. I am Dr. Ali Issa JC, representing Balanga, Plenary Federal Constituency. I am from Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support my very good friend who brought this very important bill. The National Assembly staff, we are all aware, are very important staff, particularly when it comes to experience and working of the legislative arm of government. You know, most of the staff, those that work with our committees, those that work in the chambers, and others that are handling some of the sensitive legislative activities, we need the experience, we need a lot of them to maintain the system in the National Assembly. Also, Mr. Speaker, recently the Nigerian Labour Congress called on federal government to even adjust the retirement age for all the civil servants from 60 to 65 years. And this is not only happening in Nigeria alone. Most of the countries like United States, UK have 65 or more years as their retirement age. We in this country, we also have to join the world in progressing. So I call on my colleagues and my friend, not only because I'm a former staff of the National Assembly, but because it is important that we reserve that experience and talent we have in this assembly. I so support this motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, I recognize you already, right? Please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Abdullahi Rashid, member representing Dukunafada Federal Constituency. I'm from Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, I rise this evening to lend my voice and contribute to this important debate for this bill. As a retired staff of the National Assembly, I strongly believe that this bill, if passed, will boost the morale of National Assembly staff and to further support us as legislators in performing our duties effectively for the greater benefit of Nigerians and our beloved nation. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the National Assembly is a critical institution in our democratic journey and a hope of all Nigerians for a developed and prosperous nation. Strengthening the bureaucratic nature in the National Assembly service by increasing the terminal age from 60 to 65 will insist institutional memory and develop effective career progression among staff, in turn to provide with the required capacity and robust knowledge to handle the complex and dynamic nature of legislative working. With this my remark, I support this for the second reading of this bill to be taken. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The leader, I think you are itching to say something. Let me give you the permission. Do you have anything to say? Okay. So let's just put the question. It's a very straightforward bill. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, please go ahead and read the long title of the bill.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to make provisions for the retirement age of staff of National Assembly service and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Public Service Matters. The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act and establish Federal Medical Center (ACO-NICE) Enugu State, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Paul Sonde Nnamchi. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. I now invite Honorable Nnamchi to move that the bill be now read for a second time.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. My name is Honorable Professor Paul Sonde Nnamchi. I represent the good people of Enugu East Issues of Federal Constituency of Enugu State. I rise to move that the bill for an act to make provision for the bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Center Act and establish Federal Medical Center at Konike, Enugu State, and for relative matters be read for the second time. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Ize.
Thank you, Right Honorable the Speaker. Respected colleagues, Eze Nwachukwu Eze is my name, representing Ebonyi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. I rise to support the motion that this bill be allowed to be read the second time. I so support.
Thank you. This is a very straightforward bill. It's a bill, an establishment bill on a very familiar territory, the health sector. So I'll just go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, please proceed and read the long title of the bill.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers and establish Federal Medical Center, Akonike, Enugu State, and for related matters, second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Health, Health Institutions. Leader, can you please move for adjournment?
Mr. Speaker, I've been told to hold on.
Please go ahead, Leader. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, Professor Julius Ihonville, I rise to, well, I think this can actually go on order 2, 3 of pages 39, 40. To move that in view of some prevailing conditions that we suspend that we suspend all other items on the order paper for today and adjourn to tomorrow at 9 a.m. I repeat, 9 a.m. because there are other issues the Speaker will be busy with. 9 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday, Wednesday, the 25th. No, 9 a.m. please. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of these two motions, one for suspension. Sorry. Leader, can you second, please?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the House do stand adjourned to tomorrow, Wednesday, 9 a.m. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. While the nays can remain. House adjourned to tomorrow, Wednesday, 9 a.m. Thank you.